This is a small video about Ardupilot and controlling manual mode in a VTOL T1 Ranger. As you can see, I put right here the outputs on the radio, and what is happening is when you go to manual mode,
Q stabilize. Manual mode.
okay, you can see the output going to 100, and you pitch and you yaw. It's going to 100. In this mode, this airplane is uncontrollable in manual mode. Now, if you go to Q stabilize, it goes to 100, but the airplane flies perfect. So the problem is to tame, to make it more softer. And in order to do that, I had to do a mix and a switch.
Middle rates.
And middle rates when you go to manual mode. Now I got about 50, and then I flip the switch again.
Low rates.
And goes in low rates. And once again, it works. But if you go to any stabilized mode,
Q stabilize,
this get affected by the switch too. So
middle rates.
In order to actually go to a Q stabilize normally, you have to do in high rates right here, so all the stabilized modes will work perfect.
Fly-by-wire A.
But when you switch to manual mode, this airplane becomes super wild. So you have to flip the switch.
High rates.
So I read the documentation, and I just want to isolate manual mode from the switch.
Low rates, high rates.
Because I have to always remember that I have to flip the switch.
Low rates.
When I'm in manual mode.
High rates.
So this is what I did. I did another mix, and I did another airplane. I copied the airplane.
Manual mode. Engines disarmed.
And now I isolate the manual mode in a way that I don't need the switch any longer. I don't need the switch. So if you see the outputs now, okay, the airplane is tame without moving any mixing switches of low rates. Okay, look, the roll is super perfect. But when I go to Q stabilize, I got the full throws like I supposed to. Same thing with
fly-by-wire A.
Fly-by-wire A.
Q hover.
Q hover.
Q loiter.
Q loiter.
Hold. Q RTL.
And QRTL. But when I go and switch to manual
mode,
I tame the airplane. How I did it? I went to the mixes, and you can see right here that I have 50, half of the weight in the aileron with an expo of 10 and a 6-position switch 1, the aileron and the elevator. So, and this is the mix that I did. I hope you can see it properly. And the multiplex, I reduced the weight at 50, okay, of Sub-Zero. Expo, I got it at 10. You can choose whatever you want, same thing as the weight. And the switch is the 6-position 1. But in the multiplex I put replace, so I isolate it from the other switches and fly modes. So this will make your airplane controllable, and not only controllable, it will fly the way you wish on manual mode without going crazy and start flipping switches like in the other mix that I did. So this is, at least for me, the perfect mix or the perfect setup on the radio. The radio will now have no effect whatsoever in the other fly modes, only in manual, because it's a pass-through. So you can actually use your radio, and if you have a computerized radio like I do, then you will good to go. So just a tip. Thank you.